I just watched another interview of a whistleblower on the so-called alien ET contact, well, US ET contact in the 1950s. Apparently the first landing, official landing, took place in 1954 when President Eisenhower, I don't know who was that president anymore, anyhow, pretty convincingly actually was telling the story. And if you just check it out on YouTube, I think it's, I don't know if I can find the video, I'll post it below. You have to research this topic, that there is a lot more going on than what you think is going on. Now, people who have been following my videos and hear me talk on the subject know about this. But the real history is so incredible, actually, that in 1954, well, according to these sources and whistleblowers who are really serious on the subject, who got their information from secret officials and leakages, said that in 1954 there was an official meeting between the great ETs and the US government. The Nordic aliens firstly approached the United States government, well, the so-called Imperial Germans actually. They stated that they were from Venus, and they said that they would help the United States evolve spiritually, but that they should destroy their nuclear weapons, and that they would not give technology because they would use this technology to destroy each other even further. Also based on the truth. But the Nordic aliens said, we will help you evolve spiritually and break these chains practically, but the US government back then refused. And then started working with the negative entities, the so-called grey ETs. And according to my research and also OBE views, astral projection, while seeing these entities, there's a reptilian type entity also that was negative. And the story goes that there was a galactic war going on in our galaxy between the Nordic aliens, the so-called Aryans from Aldebaran, spanning multiple star systems, a confederation of different races actually, fighting the so-called higher dimensional reptilian ETs, or the Draco race in this galaxy. They were conquering this galaxy actually, and enslaving world after world through also the same methods as we were being brainwashed down here. Complete manipulation and enslavement. In some worlds there are reptiles and humans walking together and working with each other, and in some worlds there are humans and they all get their propaganda. So they're also all mind controlled. And this Draco Empire was convinced that they were doing the work of goddess Kali, a feminine goddess, and that they should rule over the galaxy and everybody be their slaves. Pretty much down here that we're the slaves from the Zionist elites. We are the Goyim, the cattle actually, that are the slaves of this international Zionist world order. And I analyzed the global situation. We've been split up into Russia, the Federation of Russia, the United States, and China, practically these three major powers, and they all have their views, and all are programmed and conditioned through their propaganda machine to believe certain things. It's not per coincidence that they're doing this now. They're all working in accordance and manipulating people to do certain things. Manipulating politicians. They control the propaganda machine and tell us what to believe. So yeah, now we have in the Middle East, ISIS gaining territory, and my god, it's a big crisis. The United States is moving also its aircraft carrier in the region. The entire region is destabilized. It's because of the US invasion to remove Saddam Hussein from power, because he was a threat to this Zionist global dominion and a threat to Israel, although not really. His capacity was destroyed during the First Gulf War to actually wage war. They destroyed the Super Grand Cannon here that was being built in Iraq. They were building the so-called Fist of God, a cannon that shot an object of 1 ton or more, I think 1 ton, over a distance of 1,000 miles. And in this capsule, in this bullet actually, that's a huge gun that was built. Gerald Bull was actually the one who built it, and he was also assassinated later on. But this giant cannon was to have 3 missiles in the bullet actually, and the missiles would come out and fly another 1,500 miles. and it would be capable of reaching Israel. So Iraq, Saddam Hussein knew the truth about the Zionist world order, and he wanted to destroy Israel because he saw Israel as his biggest enemy. Also, there were many UFO sightings during the First Gulf War and the Second Gulf War. So we do not know the truth about Iraq and Saddam Hussein. The only thing we know about Saddam Hussein is that he was a vile dictator, and that gas practically occurred for no apparent reason. That he was a mass murderer. Where he was actually keeping the order in Iraq with a very steady hand. There was peace. Okay, well, there was the Iran war, but look at Iraq today. Terrorist attacks every day, hundreds of people dying every day. It's a civil war status. The war that the US brought to the Saddam Hussein and his people cost 1.5 million Iraqi lives, irradiated hundreds of square kilometers. Entire fields are irradiated there because of depleted uranium. They use depleted uranium, and there are huge fields, practically totally irradiated, entire cities irradiated, where the babies are malformed or deformed when born. That is a huge war crime. And they commit atrocity after atrocity without getting punished. And they keep us in a steady hypnotic state and tell us what to do. And then we are told to kill our brothers, actually, to wage war for their global control. It's sad, that they wage war after war after war, since hundreds, thousands of years, actually. And they want us practically enslaved and separated from God. We are practically their cattle, their food source. And we're always being led to slaughter. That's how you have to see it. The so-called metaphorical or the esoteric theory or reality. That we are nothing but souls. Food for the demonic entities that rule over this world. That's why they program you with atheistical theories, like the theory of evolution, to make you believe that there is no God, that you get separated with your soul from God, and that you're separated like an entity, and as an entity you can be consumed. I had visions of the Second Gulf War. I've seen the battlefields. And I've seen these entities consume the souls of the fallen by consuming them. Wars are their harvest. That is why, under this Zionist world order, or Jewish world order, you will never have peace. There is a 1984 Orwellian world. 3 major powers who are constantly at war with each other. Even if there's a one world government, there will be a global police force to subdue any type of rebellion. Or to cull the masses, if necessary. They don't want you, you die. We are their cattle. And they want us to keep us as their cattle and slaughter us at will. That's why there were so many genocides in the past century alone. The Communist Revolution in Russia claimed over 70 million lives. The Communist Revolution in China, over 120 million lives. 120 million lives. And they will keep doing this. They want a one world communist world order with their own gulag system. If necessary, they just kill us off. Everybody will have their chip. And according to Justus Mullins, they want to reduce the global population down to 500 million, predominantly Chinese. And they will do this using a bioweapon. That's why we see regularly in the news that, some new disease is popping up. They're telling us practically that it could be that a killer virus is on its way to harvest 90% of the global population. I don't know if this is true. This is just based on stuff that I found out. But the fact is, they want a one world communist world order. It's horrible. That's why I believe in God. Yeah, I believe in God through insight. When finding out this truth online in 2007, finding out the truth about how they lied to us about everything, actually, I started believing in God. And I asked Him for forgiveness for never believing in Him. I believe that Judgment Day is upon us, that God will manifest on earth as Jesus Christ, Second Coming, or Vishnu Avatara. And that there will be peace, that we will be freed from this horror scenario that they have in store for us, that we will win and live in freedom. Earth and paradise, according to the prophecies. 1,000-year golden age. You cannot even comprehend how life will be. A beautiful life. An interstellar civilization. Contact with ETs. Contact with the inner world. Contact with the angels and gods. And live how life should be. In peace and harmony. Happiness. Consciously living, knowing that you have an eternal soul, no fear of death, that we grow up and take life in our own hands. Now we're being treated like little children. We cannot think for ourselves. We're being treated like cattle. If we would really grow up, mankind, they would live totally differently. Divine. That's why they're mankind, the human race, Aryan race, is a divine construct. We are not animals. Mankind is godlike. As stated in the Bible, I created you in my own image. They have the power of choice, of free will. And your will has been taken away from you. Mankind is in a spiritual prison and tortured. One day we will live in peace. I believe in that. I believe in that more than in any religion. I believe that we will live in freedom one day, and that we will live truly how life should be lived. We are going to heal any kind of disease. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed this video. Cheers.